There is nothing more tragic than war, and there's nothing more tragically humiliating than defeat in war, especially when that defeat is brought about by an enemy who is basically an idiot. I'm talking about an enemy with a milk dud-sized brain, an enemy that has done little more than perfect the art of catch-as-catch-can willy-nilly warfare, basically screaming like a little girl and running back and forth. I'm talking about the Great Emu War of 1932. And while it sounds like this is a humorous historical event, please understand that no war is humorous, especially when the loss involves thousands and thousands of innocent bullets. Trustworthy again, whether you like it or not, with another vital historical fact. In November of 1932, the Australian government was becoming quite concerned about the destruction of wheat fields and farmland in the western states of Australia. The destruction was being done by nearly 20,000 estimated emus. Emus are large flightless birds that can weigh up to 100 pounds and reach over 6 feet tall. Well, the Australian government wasn't going to stand for that, and they officially declared war on the birds. Shortly thereafter, the Army deployed machine gun-laden troops to take care of the problem. The troops were headed by Major General G.P.W. Meredith of the Royal Australian Artillery, and the outcome of this costly war was determined largely by two somewhat bloody battles. The first battle pitted the Australian troops against almost 50 emus. When the troops started firing, they managed to kill about 5 of them. Then the birds started running in that willy-nilly guerrilla warfare fashion, making it virtually impossible to shoot any of the others. The other significant battle took place shortly after that, when the Aussies were up against almost 1,100 of these cunning enemy birds. When the troops began firing, the birds again employed the same guerrilla warfare tactics, running in their strategic willy-nilly fashion. The Australians managed this time to kill 12 out of 1,100. By the next month, the Australian government decided to call an end to the hostilities and to admit defeat in the Great Emu War of Western Australia. And in the end, even Major General Meredith had to admit that these birds aren't as stupid as they appear to be. Now, some might take a cavalier look at this significant Australian war, but let's try to remember that at least 17 innocent emus lost their lives. And each of those emus left behind loved ones and friends and other birds they probably drank with. The assuring news, I suppose, for the emus is that in 1932 there were roughly 20,000 of them in Australia, but with Australia's loss of this war and the passage of time, there are now over 700,000 of these delightful warriors freely vacationing in the Australian countryside.